Well, welcome to the Bill Mason Show. Thanks for joining us. It is February the 13th, 2020. It's a lot to talk about today, Bill. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm probably polling better than most Democrats right now.
Yes, I think you are. The Democrat Party is having a hard time. We're going to talk about the Democrat Party, the election. Of course, Trump is running with no one against him, so he's going to cruise the nomination, of course. But the Democrat Party is kind of imploding.
Yeah, it seems like all the candidates are fighting to see who's going to go down hardest.
Yes, yes. So we're going to talk about that. We had the virus news. This thing's getting worse and worse. We're a few days ahead of the news media, by the way, on the virus.
Yeah,
So
if not more, because we were talking about how the numbers were going to upward curve on day two,
right,
and now it's finally they're starting to change the numbers and release actual information, and
right.
you know,
Yeah, we've been talking that for weeks, actually, for at least 2 weeks.
yeah,
The military quarantine areas, we've been talking about that for the last few shows. They just now come out with that. So anyway, we're going to talk about the virus news later on. So we're going to talk about, again, the election, and of course, the locusts going on in the world. They're traveling through Africa, going into the Middle East, and going into heading towards China, looks like.
yeah, they're cutting right across the Fertile Crescent and eating like mad and
Yeah,
breeding.
billions and billions of locusts. And
Yeah.
then we're going to talk about the Syria and Turkey situation too, as well. So
Yeah, Syria, Turkey, Israel's involved, Russia's backing them, and I mean, who's not? What a mess.
this is a big mess. So let's go on to the politics. So there night, Bernie, of course, he won the New Hampshire primary, and
Yeah, you could say that. They said the turnout was miserable. That they said, yeah, he won in like numbers, getting 28%,
mhm,
but in the last one he got 60%. So I don't know.
yeah, that's good.
I don't
So,
think he won. I think Trump won New Hampshire.
right. Well, he did win New Hampshire. He did win because it was unopposed. But let's take a look. I think that MSNBC news anchor didn't think she was going to get this response. But take a look at this video.
I don't see it as plausible, but I want to talk to. We have a voter out here, sir. You were watching, so you're going to be on television now. Can you tell us who you voted for?
Donald John Trump.
You voted for Donald John Trump.
Yeah.
Look at that. Bernie Sanders is not appealing to you.
The whole ideology would be destructive to the country. It's anti-growth. It's anti-family. It's anti-American. And as a Roman Catholic, it's anti-life.
Wow, look at that. So
Couldn't have said it better myself.
it's anti everything.
Yeah, basically it's destroy and pretend I have a solution, and I'll give you some handouts on the way.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, she wasn't expecting that at all.
And you notice that they only really slip in like that when they're like on a live feed. Like from what I believe, you could see the clock ticking, the polls closed thing. That was live. If that was a recorded session, they would have pulled that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Because
Yeah.
you're right. I mean, they would have pulled it. They didn't want no Trump advertisement coming out.
That's not the narrative that they want. Just like the people calling in live, I think it was C-SPAN or something like that. That just the first caller was like, "Oh, I'm confident about the Democrats," and the rest of them were like, "Man, I will never vote Democrat again as long as I live,"
Right.
And they weren't expecting that. So I mean, it's starting to filter through.
Yeah, I mean, I think Bernie is going to catch fire and move through this election cycle, and he's going to be the one to beat. But the problem is his campaign advisors and campaign support are telling people they're going to put us in gulags.
Gulags, start fires in major cities. I mean, this is like off the rocker stuff, man. If you heard a Trump campaign guy going around and saying, you know what, if we lose, we're just going to machine gun New York City. I mean, it's the same thing. These guys are nuts.
They are nuts. I mean, there's undercover videos out there. Project Veritas has been undercover to show their face. So I want to play one of those videos, and you'll see what we're talking about.
Stories were told in the United States about, the gulags and the persecution of the kulaks and things like that are exaggerated. We certainly don't have a straight perspective on that stuff here in America. I canvassed with someone who's like an anarchist, and I canvassed with someone who's more of a Marxist-Leninist, and so we do it. I mean, we tracked radical, like truly radical people to the campaign. That's obviously not like outward facing.
Bernie has been out there standing on the picket lines and doing the uncomfortable stuff, and I absolutely think that he would endorse that kind of action. Sometimes that's what you got to do to get it done.
It's going to take it's going to take militancy. But just like a militant labor movement that's willing to, one, strike, and if necessary, just destroy property and things like that. A lot of those people who do that kind of work are their politics fall well outside of the American sort of norm. So they're Marxist-Leninists, they're anarchists, they're these types of folks, and they have more of a mind for direct action, for engaging in politics outside of the electoral system.
It is unfortunate that we have to make plans for extreme action, but like I said, they're not going to give it to us, even if Bernie is elected. We don't want to scare people off, so you kind of got to feel it out first before you get into the crazy stuff. Or more extreme organizations and stuff like Antifa, you're talking about the yellow vests and all that, but we're kind of keeping that on the back burner for right now.
We would need a federal government and a labor movement that is working together to strip power away from capitalists and preferably directing that violence towards property. After we abolish landlords, we don't have to kill them. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
That is truly unbelievable. The circular reasoning of that dude who's saying we're going to destroy property and capitalism as if somehow that's a solution to anything. That doesn't solve anything. What an absolute moron.
Yeah, I mean, the Nazis, set fire to everything before they took power, so why not these guys?
And the other guy saying, we're just trying to play it soft right now and keep the extreme stuff on the back burner. That's what's scary, and that's really how, socialism turns to communism. That is it.
That's it. So Bernie wants to turn this into the USSR and put everybody that wearing this hat, your hat, into a concentration camp.
Honestly, I'd like to see him try. That dude weighs 140 pounds soaking wet. Come at me, bro.
All right.
Please.
All right, so tell me what happened with Elizabeth Warren. She was talking and she was saying something. What was she saying? I
couldn't believe it. I think she's trying to become relevant again because, as you can see, she's slipping. She's really falling down. And she basically, in a nutshell, I mean, I know we have the video, but she's saying, we can impeach more. There's plenty more impeachments coming. Trust me. I'm just like, whoa. This is what really, in my opinion, hurts this country from a global view. They're looking at this country like, man, what is going on in the United States? Right. Like they're having the best economy ever, and they're going after the guy that brought it. And they won't stop.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So here she is. We're going to play this video of Elizabeth Warren. It looks like Trump's going to be the first president ever to be impeached twice or three times.
And probably get reelected after impeachments.
Right, exactly. So here we go.
Understand, right now, we should all be calling for the Attorney General to resign. What Barr has done should mean that we are demanding a resignation. And if that guy won't resign, then the House should start impeachment proceedings against him.
I know when you called for the impeachment of the president and an investigation on impeachment, there were those who said, well, look, politically, this is not going to be good for Democrats. You said, look, the things that are more important than that. The idea of launching another impeachment investigation, this time against the Attorney General, again, there are political considerations.
All right, so they want to impeach, of course, the Attorney General and keep
Everyone.
on impeaching Trump. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they want to go after Barr, and they are not opposed. That was a shorter clip. She is not opposed to going after Trump again. They just need to find something. So she's admitting that they're finding stuff that's not impeachable. Honestly, if that played on, and Anderson Cooper is even, I think, at this point shocked. He's going, "Wow, you really have no limits."
All right. Yeah, there's no limits for them. All right, so let's move on to Mike Bloomberg. What's going on with him? Well, are we calling him mini Mike Bloomberg?
Oh my God, he's mini in every aspect except his bank account. His expenditures are well over $1 billion. I can't imagine his motivation, and he's not even really polling at any percentage. He doesn't care.
He hasn't
He's
won
just-
one delegate either. He hasn't been in any
he's
contest
just-
yet.
he's throwing money into the Democratic fire. And
Right.
it's like a dumpster fire. This whole Democratic process, these people going through the caucus and wasting everyone's time. I don't understand Bloomberg's man. I don't know how he got to be so rich. I really should look into it deeper. But he can throw $1 billion+ in a dumpster fire. It's beyond me.
Yeah, yeah. So we have him speaking in the video, by the way. So let's play him, see what he says.
Because our campaign is about bringing all of the states together. We have 124 people across this state, and we have 8 offices, including one here in Gainesboro, and we have momentum. But we're going to pull this country together, and I'm not going to miss one state, small or big, east, west, north, south, whatever. This is America, and it's 50 states, and I'm proud of all of them.
There he is.
Did you hear him grumble? They were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
God, stop it." Wow.
So I think they're there to see somebody else.
He's the type of guy, he will get smoked by Donald Trump because face to face in front of a crowd, he sucks. He cannot talk to people. Even they show footage of when he was mayor. If it was any longer than 2 minutes, he started to fumble and stutter and like he can't do it. There is no way he could debate Trump ever.
No, I mean none of them can.
No.
I mean the only one I think could compete in a debate would be probably Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, but Bernie's going to say his same old rhetoric.
Right, same old stuff.
His same old stuff, and the reason he has so much fire is because nobody wants to do it.
Right.
So his argument is that, well, you haven't tried it, so how do you know it won't work?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
we haven't tried communism yet, so how do you know it's not going to work?
Right, and the argument is like, well, it failed everywhere else that it's been tried, but we have a better way. It's the third way, and it just drives people insane. Everybody who has a brain or an investment in their life or their family is like, are you crazy? The only people that support it are those nutcase college kids who are like, yeah, if we gotta burn buildings and beat the crap out of people, we're ready. Okay.
So let's end up the politics side of it.
Okay.
So you tell me, Nevada, South Carolina, who you think's going to win?
Biden's already down there in black churches singing with the gospel choir and saying he can't wait to eat. It's like a hot sauce moment for Biden. Biden will probably pull out South Carolina. It is the Bible Belt. They don't like Buttigieg, for his orientations. It's very, very Christian. And, I'm thinking Biden is actually going to probably pull that one out there. And then Nevada, I really am unsure. It's tough to call because Nevada's demographic is constantly changing. I'm pretty sure they're a sanctuary state, as far as I know. So that's kind of weird. But there are people that are moving out of Nevada and into Texas like every day. Right. Texas is booming, and Nevada's demographics definitely changing. I couldn't call Nevada.
Yeah. So I predict also South Carolina to Biden, Mayor Pete for Nevada.
Okay, that would make sense because Nevada has Sin City, like they don't care what goes on in Vegas.
That's right.
Mayor Pete can come in and be like, "Let's party, bros," and they'll cheer for him. They'll love it.
Right. And of course, Trump for both.
Oh, Trump! Every time Democrats speak, Trump wins. So all they do is dig the hole deeper into their like stupidity. Biden can't remember where he is, but you know what Bernie's going to spin. Buttigieg is like, yeah, I have no experience, give me a shot, and then Pocahontas. And every time they talk, Trump wins.
Right, exactly. So anyway, as far as moving forward, we have locusts and Turkey and Syria. So let's just take a look at the locusts. What's going on with that? I mean, these plague of locusts have went through Africa, going into the Middle East, and maybe into China. So let's take a look at this. Here's the swarm.
Wow, 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 wow. Funga dirisha bwana, funga dirisha. Wow, 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 wow. Wah, wah, wah,
Unajua you cannot walk. Look at this one.
There's another one.
That's pretty crazy.
That is crazy.
Like I said, that's like biblical proportion locusts, and they just keep eating and breeding and expanding.
Yeah, it's they're eating up everything in their path.
Yeah.
And there's billions of them, not just one swarm. There's several swarms.
Yeah.
You scared me there because you changed your screen back to Nancy Pelosi.
Well, I figured Nancy needed a drink, so I would put her in my background. She was thirsty. You know, she saw me having mine, so I would be cordial.
Right.
I'm actually, I should toast her. Chink, chink.
Oh, we know she has an alcohol problem.
Oh my God, she doesn't have an alcohol problem. She has an endless alcohol supply on our dollars.
Yeah, on the plane.
On the
Back and
plane, fully stocked with Grey Goose vodka.
Anyway, so let's go into some news about the virus. So as of right now, in the United States, 15 confirmed cases.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the test kits they gave the states?
Yeah, they come in like a little box, and I think there's you swab your mouth, and then I think you like stick it together, and then put it in a double bag, and all this other stuff. I don't know where they send them to though.
The CDC.
Okay.
Well, you actually test it right there, and it tells you yes or no.
Oh, okay.
But the thing about it is that CDC told them to throw them away because they don't work.
Oh, okay. So you're getting false negatives and false positives, and then
For the last few days, they've been getting tests that are not accurate. So CDC told them to throw them all away. The only way we can know for sure is to send this to culture.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like you would have to have a mouth swab of some sort, because that's how they started actual testing for the people on the cruise ship, from what I heard.
Yeah. So all the ones that the test kits did not work. And all the ones that they tested that negative are probably positive.
Yeah, and don't think like, oh, thank God I don't have it.
Yeah,
that trip to China was awesome.
Well, there was a woman in China. They tested her on the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, the 8th, on the 12th. All of them were negative. On the 12th, she was positive.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So you can be negative, but you still can be positive.
Sure, and the entire time you could transmit it, and you don't have to show signs of anything. So the people that got off, there was recently people that got off a plane. I think Australia lifted their ban or something like that. It wasn't directly from China, but it was a connecting flight, and they got right off and walked into regular. Nobody checked them.
Of course not.
So
it's going to wrap itself around the world, and with clusters everywhere. But today there was 116 more deaths today.
Yeah.
So not as much yesterday. Yesterday was 254 deaths in one day. Today it was 116. Of course, that's all fabricated too, because you've seen the infrared over China.
Oh, it's insane. It's they're burning so much. Now I know. So at first I thought there was all bodies, but apparently you have to burn those suits. Mm-hmm. You have to burn. I mean, Now this is China where there is no EPA. They're burning the rubber gloves. They're burning everything in one big, burst. They're not separating anything for like chemical combustion or anything like that. So it's all going in the atmosphere. I can't wait to see what that does to us.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's just going to drift over our way.
Yeah, everything does, or it hits the ocean, and then it maybe mutates into some new thing that we have to deal with.
Right. So, I mean, the other day we talked about the quarantine. So, of course, we're way ahead of the ball game. I mean, Drudge just noticed it today.
Yeah.
He posted on his website. Of course, CNN is still not showing it, but here's the quarantine areas around the United States. They're U.S. bases, and there's where we're going to be quarantined if we get the virus. Of course, they're only showing those where, Chinese people. They're only testing Chinese people or people who've been around Chinese people that have been over in that area.
Right. Now they have people that are people who've been around people now that are testing positive. So there was a guy who was Chinese who had a board meeting in the Philippines, and then the people from the Philippines went everywhere from France to Qatar. Like they were from all over the world. So like now we're waiting on that spread. So now that guy is positive, and he's like, they were like, tell us everywhere you were, and he was like, well, I had a board meeting. How many people were in there? 30.
Right. I went in an elevator.
Boy.
How many people in there? 10.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So anyway, so we got some kind of graphic pictures of what's going on in China. We have the military pouring in medical support. I'm going to play this video. It's a pretty inspirational video. Bill, I understand you want to join, but here we go.
It's very inspirational. I want to help.
Yep. There we go. The military coming in.
That's all you have to do. Join the Chinese army, get your green mask, probably an endless supply of masks.
Oh yeah.
Everybody else is struggling to get some.
Yeah, they'll give you one. They won't give you two though.
You're only supposed to last long enough for one anyway.
Right. But anyway, so what happened? See, China the other day wanted to open back up again. They wanted to open back up and think everything's rosy again. And they tried. A company tried to open up, and this is what happened. Here we go. Here they are standing around. One of the workers was tested positive, so now they're quarantined at work.
Right, and they will most likely not. Yeah, they're not going to make it out alive. So the thing about the Chinese quote unquote quarantine is that you're either locked in your apartment to die, and then they drag you out and throw you in whatever, and the people in the hospital, if they can treat you, if you're close. Now, I just discovered something that I didn't know, that like 70% of Chinese males smoke a pack of cigarettes a day because they give them to you. Okay, so they are very compromised as far as lungs go. They're very weak when it comes to fighting off a respiratory infection. So that's why the 50 and over males are really most of the victims. Only 1% of the Chinese population actually, the females, smoke. So males, they just go in to work and grab a pack of cigarettes out of a box and smoke away. They encourage it.
Wow, that's not good.
Yeah.
Well, we do have a video of somebody dying at home. They're dragging the body out. So again, it doesn't show the body exactly. It was in a bag. So just FYI. So here we go.
They treat it like a hazmat situation.
Yeah, here it is.
Put the lid on.
Yeah, there we go.
Wow, man.
So just drag them out of the house and put them in a box.
Yeah. And there's also some Chinese people that have like they have different death ceremonies because they're not allowed to be religious. That's the thing in China. But they have family rituals that normally when a person dies in their family, they it's crazy. They just put them in the living room and everybody comes over and like touches them. They really have no problem with that normally. So they're all upset that there's no formal burial because they don't tell you like, hey, your grandfather's going to be down on Fifth Avenue and Main Street.
Right.
If you could pick him up to bury him yourself, because he becomes property of the state and then he just gets thrown in a fire.
Right. Yeah, and they said they're cremating about 1,200 bodies just in Wuhan alone.
Yeah.
1,200 bodies a day.
Yeah, I saw the cloud from windy.com. It's amazing. It covers like half of China.
Yeah, it's dark red over there.
Oh my God.
So we do have another serious situation in L.A. and Los Angeles. Looks like they're self-quarantining 1,000 people.
Yeah.
And so let's take a look at that video.
Around the world are trying to contain the spread of this deadly strain of the coronavirus.
Yeah, right now, the number of people infected continues to grow. McCullough Medina live in the newsroom with the very latest numbers. McCullough?
Hi, good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody. We are closely watching a new development right here in L.A. County. Health officials closely monitoring more than 1,000 people who had traveled to mainland China recently. They've been told to self-isolate, not go to work, not go to school for 14 days. This development comes as the death toll now rises more than 1,100 people worldwide, with 97 of those cases within the last 24 hours in China.
All right, there you go. So we'll see what happens there.
I don't know, man. A self-quarantine, like, it may or may not work because some of these people are still, ordering food and giving it to the Uber Eats guy, and I don't know, man.
Yeah, they'll go out to get some food if they want it.
Yeah.
They're not going to stay in.
No.
Yeah. But anyway, so we, as you know, I mean, this is, it's been pretty much proven that it's probably a bioweapon.
Yeah, I'm 99% sure from everything I've read, and I know you've read, it's from that Wuhan Institute,
right?
Where that's all they do is blend germs and germ warfare and viral warfare, and they've been doing it for years.
Yeah,
and
the military took over that compound, and so a lot of activity in that site, by the way.
And I think they use that whole bat soup thing as a cover because that's like a normal everyday eat in that part of the world. They're like, hey, you want to go get some bats?
Yeah.
Like how we get chicken wings?
Yeah, they
They're
get
like,
bat.
yeah, let's go get some bats.
And it's bat curry.
Yeah.
And we have a video of bat curry, by the way.
Oh man, I'm glad I already ate, but sure.
Yeah, okay. It looks yummy. Here we go.
Llegó una campanita.
There we go. So bat curry.
How hungry do you have to be
to be real hungry?
The first guy to eat a bat? I mean, you have to be starving. I'm sorry.
Well, it's supposed to cure asthma, it says. So that's pretty.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, I'll take asthma. Honestly, I'll live with sports-related asthma or whatever.
Oh boy. So anyway, so it's getting pretty bad out there. So, have to be safe. Get some masks. Maybe some food.
Yeah, actually, it was weird because the first week that it broke, it was really hard to find the N95s and stuff like that. And I just went to Home Depot the other day. You can get like a 10-pack of N95s for probably like $6.
Right.
So they have them. I got a pack in my car just in case, like I run into a situation where whatever, I don't know, me, I'm like trying to be prepared. Oh, like, look at you, you got them too,
There you
yeah.
go.
Oh, that's the 20 pack, the
That's
big one?
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
what is this? This is 10 count.
Oh, that's a 10 count. Okay, because I know they come in all different like packages, and you can bulk buy them too. So
Yeah, I bought a little bit more sophisticated type of mask. I went to RZ Masks,
yeah,
and you have different colors. You can go in style.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You can get printed ones and
Yeah.
everything, but not to I would, for it to be effective, me and you would have to shave. You know that, right? Like facial hair makes an air gap in it.
That's
Yeah,
true.
so you would have to make a mask really work. You have to be clean shaven.
Yeah. Well, this one's pretty tight around your head, by the way.
It does. It's not. Is it the behind the ears one, or is it?
It's the behind the head Velcro type stuff.
Okay, yeah, that's the good one. Some of
Yeah.
the ones that the Chinese people are getting are like rubber bands behind the ears.
Yeah, they have the filters in the front and the filter inside.
Yeah.
It's 99.9 N99
Yeah.
protected. So
Yeah, the M95 particulates.
I think I sent that to you. I don't know if you got it.
I probably did.
Yeah, you don't need. You have the other mask anyway, so you're good.
I have what they call a biochem mask. That's what I have. So my kind of mask, you could wear it out and then you could actually disinfect it and use it again.
Right.
That because it's got glass and a certain kind of rubber on it. So you either go disposable and just throw them away, or you get a chem mask that you can, while you're outside, spray yourself down with alcohol or whatever,
Right.
and get it whatever off of it.
Yeah, the one I bought had filters inside where you can replace them.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
put a new filter
and
in, and on the outside there's other filters too. You can
Yep.
replace. So.
Yeah, there's all different grades of the filters too.
Right. Anyway, so everybody should get a mask, no matter if the virus is coming or not. But I guarantee you, I'm like 99.9% sure it's going to be here in the United States, and we have to deal with it.
Yeah, and the thing is they're worried about what's happening to the Chinese economy. Like there was that one video where there's people typing away on a computer. In comes this guy in full chem suit and just starts blowing like a weed whacker. Or a leaf blower full of whatever Lysol
Right.
all over these people because they don't want everything to stop. Because it is grinding to a halt, and if that happened in the United States or in Europe, you're seeing this chain of goods and services. It's going to just be done.
Yep, that's true. And just like China, they're stopping sending stuff over here.
Yeah.
Walmart's going to probably be empty in the next month or two if they don't fix this problem.
Yep,
So,
it's gonna get bad, and there are also people who I feel bad for them, but they run like their own Amazon sales marketing type stuff where they buy cheap stuff from China for $1 or $2 and like flip it for 10, and they have nothing, and they can't pay their mortgage this month because China was a big player in their life.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's about the virus. We're gonna wrap that up, and then did we talk about Turkey and Syria yet?
No. Apparently, it's not going to stop.
No, I mean they're going at it. Of course, it's a big mess. I mean, Russia's over there helping Syria, Turkey's over there trying to cause trouble and protect the rebels. It's a big mess, and now the Turkey and Syria is shooting rockets at each other. And I have a video of that. Here we go.
Okay.
This is Turkey firing some rockets at Syria.
أكبر لعزة الله الجيش التركي تجهيز راجمة الجراد لدك عصابة الأسد والروس باري الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر قاعد الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر.
Anyway, there we go. So it was a little bit more intense than that, I'm sure. But anyway, they destroyed, like the other day, 2 days ago, destroyed 101 targets in Syria.
Right.
And for retaliation of killing some Turkish soldiers. So,
Now, this is all in that Aleppo region. Am I correct once again?
That's right.
What is so important about Aleppo? I can't put my finger on it because when I look at it on the map, I see like I guess it's a strategic path, but other than that, there's a lot of other ways to get around Aleppo. I don't know why they're fighting over this area.
Well, that's the last stronghold of the rebels. That's
I
it.
mean,
and Turkey's been supplying the rebels all along.
yeah, well, yeah, I know Turkey supplies the rebels, but Russia backs the Syrians,
Right.
correct? So I
Right.
mean,
So Russia's just trying not to get into it, so they don't want to fight Turkey, and then so that's why Turkey and Syria is going at it because Russia said, hey, we're not going to get involved with you two fighting.
right, but they are.
They might get involved. If they do get involved, then all everything's a go. I mean, if we're looking at World War.
Yeah, so these are proxy wars. So what was uncovered about the Ukraine, which was that Obama didn't want to get involved because he basically caused the coup and didn't want to be like, oh, okay, now we're gonna go to war. The funding is now looking as if it was to arm some of these militias in the Ukraine to fight the Russians, and at least it looks like a cover story. I think they're trying to find their way out of the Ukraine, saying we had good intentions. It's like another Iran-Contra,
Right.
where it was like, hey man, we had to fund one side and we couldn't let people know we were doing it.
Right.
But it's funny how the Bidens profited in the whole thing. It's kind of like they're really trying to wrap this story up with a bow.
Yeah, I mean, that's how the whole impeachment thing came up because of Biden and Hunter Biden
Sure.
getting money from Ukraine. So
Yeah, and Giuliani, not to cut you off, Giuliani, if Biden drops out of the race, it's on because when Joe Biden becomes just regular Joe, it's on. The indictments are coming,
Right.
and right now they're kind of tiptoeing around it because they don't want to go through another rigmarole to be like, you can't do that. He's an opponent of Trump.
Right.
So as soon as he tanks, overall, it's on. They're going after him because they have the wire transfers. I mean, John Solomon has the paperwork
Right.
from these money laundering banks. So I mean, he's done.
Yeah, I mean, I know that the people who are investing in him right now are
Yep.
shaking their head. They're going to pull out. If he don't win South Carolina, he's gone.
Yeah, and I think like we just discussed, I think he'll probably pull it out, in South Carolina and give him another couple weeks of fervor, and then probably fizzle out.
Well, that's the show for tonight. I appreciate you watching. Do you have any last words, Bill?
No, just see you next time. Like and subscribe.
That's right. Thanks for watching us tonight, and we'll be on again next Tuesday and Thursday of next week. And sayonara.
Yeah. Cheers, Nancy. Clink.
Oh. I still haven't looked at the other one, by the way.
I was on mute. My bad.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's okay. I tried to open it. I don't know if I sent it through Zoom because it was a big file.
Yeah.
And then when I tried to click on it again, it wouldn't open. So I don't know what happened with that.
Yeah, well, she just looks too scary.
The other one, she's even scarier.
Oh, no.
Yeah.